everyone, it's Linda Westfall here and welcome to my channel. I will be using the cute Morning Flowers Stamp and Die bundle from Altenew today. I will first use the dies to cut a template that I can use in my MISTI to aid in stamping. I will also cut several of these out of some Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock. I will place the shapes back into their respective places and line up the stamps. I will be stamping with Altenew's crisp dye inks in Summer Afternoon Set, Martian Terrain Set, Nature's Wonders, and I show the Northern Shore set, but I don't end up using those. I will go through and stamp all the first layers, and for the leaves I'm using Misty Moore, and then the flowers I alternate with Pastel Sunrise and Buttercream. Because I've created that template, I can easily take one out and replace it with the next one to be stamped. When I'm all finished with the first layers, I will replace those stamps with the second layer, and the ink I'm using for the leaves is Marshland, and for the flower it's Warm Sunshine and Canyon Clay. I don't show the switch to the third layer because my head was totally in the way, but for the third layer the leaves will be stamped in Sea Forest, and then the flowers in Burnt Red and Caramel Toffee. There are two different layers for the flower centers and two for the leaf that is in between the flowers, and the colors for the leaves are the same as the first two colors I've used on the other leaves. The colors for the flower centers are Sunkissed and Mocha for the peachy red flowers and Rocky Shore and Mocha for the yellow flowers, and I stamp the leaves and the flower centers at the same time. I've also used a Sizzix sticky grid sheet underneath the template to help hold everything in place. I'm using the Fine Nesting Circles die, and I'm going to cut that out of gold mirror cardstock. And when I cut this out and trying to get it out of the die, it was really stuck in there. I tried hitting it, throwing it down on the desk, but it just did not want to come out. I used the poker tool to finally, I got one out, but I'm going to show you a trick that I saw a while back. If you take a dryer sheet and you rub it all along your intricate dies or any die that doesn't want to give up the paper after you've cut it out, then when you go to remove it from the die, all you have to do is turn it over and hit it gently. I did have to throw this one down on my cutting plate there, but then it removed them all nicely all at once. It was awesome. Next, I'm going to take a piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp my sentiment in Obsidian Pigment Black ink. Then I'm going to heat set that so that it doesn't smear. I'm going to use Caribbean Sky Crisp Dye ink and ink blend with a that's a small blending brush in a circle on my panel. Once I have that all ink blended, I'm going to dry emboss with the Splatter hot foil plate. And the sandwich I'm going to be using to dry emboss this is a clear cutting plate, the magnetic shim, the hot foil plate, my cardstock, and since I want those bumps to come out of the paper towards you, I'm going to put it face up. Next comes the embossing mat, and finally the other clear cutting plate. I will adhere that circular frame to my panel with some liquid glue, and I will place an acrylic block on top of it to help it adhere. As I figure out where I want the leaves and flowers to be placed, I'm not afraid to cut things apart.
those 2 larger flowers, I'm going to use the Altenew Instant Dimension foam tape, and then I will adhere some of the other stuff to that foam tape. Then I will use liquid glue to adhere everything else together into the panel. And in the end, I ended up adding 1 more little yellow flower to the mix as well. Take a card base and I'm going to use Canyon clay and rub that all around, just from the ink pad direct to the paper, all around the outside of that card base. I will adhere the card base and the panel together using Altenew's ultra sticky 1/2-inch double-sided tape. Thanks for joining me here today in Altenew's Gardens Around the World video hop. Make today amazing.